Good morning to everybody listening to us. We give glory, honor, and majesty to the Almighty God who has made it possible for us to be alive this morning again. This is the voice of Pedagogues Educational Research Institute, dedicated to creating fun in the learning experience of school-going children. We thank our lovers across the world and across the length and breadth of Nigeria, most especially school administrators and school children and their parents. We are having another series this morning, still on essay writing. In order to consolidate what teachers are doing and in preparation for school-going children terminal examinations. Essay writing remains a productive skill that has to be acquired systematically, or it's a sorry case today that school-going children are fearful. They have phobia for essay writing. So that is why we are coming to their rescue using this blended learning experience. We urge school children to listen to our tips, our clips, and to watch them. It will be very beneficial to them. We thank the Almighty God who has helped us so far since the beginning of this activity. We are contributing our quota in a little way to national development. And we thank everybody who allows our clip to be shared in their educational platform. Thank you very much, all our watchers and viewers across the length and breadth of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and South Africa. Thank you so much. So this morning we'll be dealing with argumentative essay and article writing in a very profuse and clear manner. Essay writing should not be seen as a burden. It must be reflective. When you can reflect very well on societal issues, it will not be very difficult for you to write essay. Thank you very much. Without wasting our time, we want to discuss essay writing this morning because there is no exam that will be written, maybe WAEC or NECO or NAPTEP or any other examination where students will not be tested on essay writing. So as we've seen the lacuna that children of school going age in recent time cannot write. The problem could stem from thinking skill. So that's why we want to treat a number of essay and make children know how to really think to approach essay. Then it will be advisable for them to cultivate the habit of reading. It will be advisable for schools to drill children and giving them outline, guiding them to write. When they are properly guided and they are given ample opportunities to practice, they will be able to write very well. So thank you very much, Mrs. Okpeoluwa Dibanjo, for watching us. Thank you very much. We thank our fans for joining us. So essay writing is very important. So this morning we'll be dealing with argumentative essay. The originators and initiators of education, they have logic in their guiding principle, and as an integral part of the curriculum, the Socrates, Aristotle, and Plato. So they gave us logic, philosophy as field of learning experiences that will produce philosopher kings. So I find it difficult to believe students today who say they get to the exam and you say, I want to write informal letter, I want to write formal letter. Why can't they be trained? Or why can't they prepare their mind on several other essays so that they will be able to have ample opportunities to select when they get to the exam? It means that something is missing. And I don't believe that any essay is difficult to write if they have been properly trained, and if they have the mindset that this thing is not difficult. It will not really be difficult. But we have generation of lazy students today who find it very difficult to read. So that's one of the remote and immediate reasons why essay writing appears to be very difficult. The reading culture is gradually winding out of our society, and we have to bring it back if we really want things to work well. So without wasting our time, what do you call argumentative essay? In the oral form, it is called a debate, where you either speak for or against a given motion. In other words, when you speak for a motion, you don't speak against. When you write for a motion, you don't write against the given motion. So, and the language of argumentative essay by its very nature is persuasive. The language of argumentative essay by its nature has to be convincing. So, in writing an argumentative essay, it is expected of you to be very logical, and every essay has its own distinctive characteristics, because every essay will be marked according to content, organization, expression, and mechanical accuracy. Content is the relevance of your points. Organization is how you are able to abide by the rules and regulation of writing a particular essay, which makes it very different from another essay. So being able to abide by the features of a particular essay is very important. Then your logical presentation, which could be acquired through using a persuasive language, which could be also acquired by logical presentation, use of linkers, firstly, secondly, in addition, furthermore, moreover, and many other linkers like that are useful in writing argumentative essay. Another language of argumentative essay is the use of rebuttal, where you create counterclaim for what your opponents have said. When you look at the loopholes of what your opponents have said and you try to buttress it. So when you are talking about argumentative essay, you need to substantiate your views with evidences. What you are saying must be proven, must be logical, must be evidential. So these are the things you should put at the back of your mind. So then when you are writing an argumentative essay, the use of rhetorical question is very important, which makes you to make your audience fill in the gap, and which carries them along. Even in any form of speech, it might not even be an argumentative. It could be even speech writing. Rhetorical question is very important in delivering your speech. So that is very, very much important. And then for WAEC and NECO purpose or NAPTEP purpose or terminal examination purposes in secondary school, the examining body wants you to write 450 words, which many students see as a big deal, but it's not really a big deal. You only need to plan your essay with outline and develop your points logically. So without wasting our time, I would like to say that whatever we are discussing, even if it is a societally sensitive topic, we are only discussing it for examination purpose, and what we are going to be discussing are model WAEC and NECO questions. So I just want to say that. So today now we will be discussing about civil rule is more preferable to military rule. So in writing an argumentative essay, the vocatives is very much important, which is the introduction. Good afternoon or good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, the moderator, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Standing before you on this august occasion is, mention your name, representing your class or your school. Then in the introductory paragraph, it is expected of you to explain the key points. Here we have civil rule. What do you call a civil rule? According to Abraham Lincoln, civil rule is likened to be democracy, which is the government of the people, for the people, and by the people, while military rule is the government of the military men. So then you let us know the key information. Moral laxity among school children, the home to be blamed, and all the school. You let us know what moral laxity is. Technology has done more harm than good. You let us know what technology is in the introductory paragraph. So very much, corruption is the bane of Nigerian development. You let us know what corruption is. You let us know what bane is. So there are some key, it's just like when you are writing your research, you say operational definition of term. So it's very important for you to let us know the key information right there from the introductory paragraph. Then after that, you let us know your standpoint. Are you supporting or opposing? If you are supporting, you let us know that you are supporting. If you are opposing, you let us know that you are opposing in the introductory paragraph. Then you let the audience know that you have a number of reasons to support your argument. Then let's proceed. Having explained what civil rule is, then you begin to tell us how civil rule is more beneficial. Is a government that respects the rule of law. When you say the rule of law, is when the law takes its course, when it allows for democratic governance. And when you talk about democratic governance, the electorates, that are the people, the power resides with them. They are able to select their leaders. So nobody forces the leader on the citizenry. So that's one of the dividends of the democratic governance, which is civil rule. Then another thing is that there is proper deliberation of issues through bills. So we're talking about the bicameral legislation, the House of Senate and the House of Rep. They deliberate. They don't just pass things. They don't just rule by edits. Then there is rule. There is respect for constitution. Constitution is then students must be trained to harness information, to harness ideas from even other subjects to write essays in English language. It's not something too abstract. Whatever you want to write is not too abstract. You must be able to easily conceptualize the ideas and present them in a logical way. Furthermore, civil rule is better than civilian rule because there is respect for constitution. Then you let us know what constitution is, which is also being reviewed from time to time. So then there is election, which is supposed to be free, fair, credible, and highly diaphanous under the democratic system. So in other words, when a leader leads a group of people for a certain time and they are not comfortable with the rulership, they are able to select another leader after 4 years, after every 4 years. So You explain like that logically. Then there are representatives. There is grassroots representation. There is under federalism, there is decentralization of power. So you have the federal government, you have the state government, and you have the local government, which is the grassroots. So people can easily relate with their leaders. This is not obtainable under military rule. It's not obtainable under military rule. So that is which then you explain. When you write a point, it is expected of you to develop it very well. And I have told you, I've said in my previous clip that paragraph means topic, sentence, and other what do I call it now? Other supportive sentences. So that is what you call a paragraph, where you are able to develop your ideas paragraph by paragraph. A paragraph can span as 7-8 lines before moving to another paragraph. That's why students of school going age today write short essays, because they do not have the requisite mental capacity and skill to develop their ideas very well. It is very important for teachers to teach the part of speech, the idioms, the phrasal verb, the figures of speech, the sentences, before they are being introduced to writing essay. Without this, they will continue to write nonsense. It's a sorry case, because when they get to the university, they will not be able to write their essays. This is where it starts from. So thinking skill must be imbibed right from primary school, even from composition, oral composition, written composition. They are the platform that should be afforded school-going children to groom them so that they will be competent. These things are not difficult. They are not difficult at all. It only requires practice and proper training. So then in the conclusion of a typical argumentative essay is like a recapitulation, reiteration of your point, emphasizing it that military civilian rule allows for civil rule of law, it allows for constitution, it allows for election, it allows for this, that. As a result, you believe you have been able to convince and not confuse your audience that with all your cogent reasons, not few, never say your points are few, cogent reasons, solid reasons, that civil rule is better than military rule. Then it is expected of you to thank your audience for listening. Thank you for listening during the course of my speech. By the time you have written logically like that, you would have been able to write 450 words conveniently and comfortably. So if you want to say the other way around, you want to say that military rule is better than civilian rule. In the introductory paragraph, having greeted, which is the vocatives, you let us know what military rule is. Military rule is the government of the soldiers, the military men, the khaki boys, and where they rule by order and edicts. They rule by decree. It is an autocratic governance. So what are the benefits of military rule? Military rule is a government that is very what? It's not as expensive as civilian rule, because they only have administrators and one military head of state. Then we have administrators in different states. So unlike having members of House of Representatives or House of Senate or even local government chairmen, councillors, so military rule is not as expensive as civilian rule. You explain. When you write a point, you will explain. Then another thing about military rule is that there is quick decision making under military rule. There is no sitting of the house, there is no passing of bill, there is no deliberation, so there is prompt decision making. You explain. That's another point. In addition, under military rule, there is safety. There is security of life and property. which is core of any governance, and which under civilian rule today in some part of the world, the civilian rule have not been able to hand over these dividends of democracy to the citizenry. Then you explain how terrorism is the order of the day across the globe, how kidnapping, gangsterism, yahooism, and internet fraud and many other vices are the order of the day. You explain to substantiate. When you raise a point, you substantiate it with evidences and proofs. No, it's not even only in argumentative essay. Logical presentation, very much important. Very much important. So then you explain your points very well. There is prompt decision making. There is security of life and property. There is there is security. So then there is no cost of governance under the military rule. So with these cogent reasons of yours, you believe that you have been able to convince your audience that military rule is better than civilian rule. Thank you. Then it's expected of school-going children to read as many model essays as possible. And this is another question. Free education is more advantageous than paid education. So let us know what you reflect on. What, having said the vocatives, you reflect on what free education is and what paid education is. Under the paid education, what are the benefits? Parents have value for their money. Parents supervise their children better because they are financially committed. Teachers are on their guard. The school administrators supervise them and they are on their guard to deliver quality educational service delivery. Under the paid educational system, there is value for children. The parents are serious, they are more committed, and the school administrators who are running a competitive business are also more what? They are also more committed to their businesses. So under the paid educational system, there is provision of all facilities, and there is provision of teachers. There are teachers to teach all subjects, as against in paid educational system where there may not be teachers for certain subjects in some schools. So under the paid educational system, students are not as congested in classes as we have in the free educational system, where we have many children to teacher. And the paid educational system, we have more children from excellent background as against just children from the members of the public who might pollute other students. So we have more children who are more cultured and more likely to be cerebral due to family background than children from the vast majority of the public. By the time you discuss these points logically using the incas, then you must have been able to deal with that point very well. Then with these cogent reasons of yours, then you in the conclusion, you make a recapitulation, a summary, a reiteration, emphasis of your points. Then you give emphasis of your points. Then you conclude with all the aforementioned realities. You believe that paid education is better than free education. Then, if you want to go against it, that free education is better than paid education, under democracy, democratic governance, education remains a fundamental tool. It remains a fundamental right of citizen. So, any governance or any government that is really doing the job must provide qualitative education as one of the dividends of democracy. So education is seen as a right. that must be acquired by everybody, irrespective of the social class, whether you are rich, you are poor, you are whatever in the society. Being able to read right is a right for every citizen. So it's one of the ways for the government to fulfill their obligation to their people. Then under free education, there are facilities, better facilities. There is today now you see private schools, some schools in very choky areas that are not even conducive. There are no facilities, there is no open field, there is no school farm, there is no standard library, there is no standard laboratory. So paid education system creates more opportunity for all these facilities than the so-called paid free education provides these facilities than the so-called paid educational system. In addition, when you talk about the free educational system, there are more qualified teachers, more qualified personnel, because the government would have done thorough screening, thorough interview, thorough recruitment processes for qualified teachers who actually went to the university to study what they are here to teach, not just anybody. But under the paid educational system, there is paucity of qualified staff. So then paid educational system, teachers in under paid educational system, they are more likely to be comfortable than teachers in the private sectors. So they are more comfortable on their job and they will be able to deliver better. They have teaching experiences. Many of them are well experienced. They are older generation teachers who have accumulated life experiences, who are parents in practice, who are parents, teachers who are parents, in local parents who are parents. So they are able to handle children of school going age. They are able to set good examples for them. They have accumulated life experiences. By the time you discuss all these things, paragraph by paragraph, then you say, you make a recapitulation of your point. With these cogent reasons, you believe you have been able to convince and not confuse your audience that free educational system is better than paid educational system. Thank you. Female child is better than male child. Why are female children better than male children? They are more compassionate. Female children they are more compassionate, they are more obedient. Female children assist the parents in home chores. In the olden days, female children have more sympathy for parents than male children. You develop them these points logically. Then when you talk about male children, why are male children more useful than the female children? Male children retain the name of the family. Male children, by their nature, they have the ability to stay back and monitor the properties and the establishment of the family than the female children would have been married to their husband. Male children are stronger to carry out some activities in the home, like running errands, like whatever. So you substantiate your points with plausible and evident reasons. You think. Essay writing is all about reflecting and thinking. Reflecting and thinking. For you to be able to think right and reflect right, you must have read very well. Reading should be a lifestyle. Reading should be a lifestyle. That's the encouragement I will give school-going children, and I will give parents to help their children. Just tell them they have to read. It's very much important. So we have come to the end of the segment of argumentative essay. So we'll be moving to the article writing. Today, students think that article writing is difficult as well, which is not actually difficult. Because article writing has very few characteristics. It's just as simple as writing the title, introduction, body, conclusion, then your name and your address at the down part of the essay. So I see no reason why it is difficult. Although article has to do with a reflective issue, is a particular issue of topical concern in the society. So it could be write an article on the present state of economy in Nigeria and effects on the citizen. Write article on COVID-19 and the effects. Write article on unemployment about youth unemployment in Nigeria and suggested ways out. Write an article on examination malpractice and ways out in the Nigerian educational system. So for you to be able to write a very good article, you must be recent, then you must be reflective, then you must be well informed, you must be a reading machine. Without this, you will always think that article is difficult. Article is to be published in journals, newspapers, magazines, and the language of article is formal. It's a formal write-up, so it does not allow for colloquialism, slangs, and other things like that. So it has to be written maturely. So I would just like to discuss one or two things. Write an article for publication in one of the national newspapers on why children should not walk on the streets in your country. That's November 1999. Why children should not walk on the streets in my country. You have to reflect, having written the title, preferably in capital letter. You have to reflect on what hawking is. You have to reflect on the dangers of hawking. You have to reflect on the causes of hawking. You have to reflect on the effects of hawking. You have to reflect on the solution. When you want to write paragraph by paragraph, hawking is a system of whereby parents give goods to their children to ply the routes from one place to the other to sell. And you have to tell us how dangerous it is. A vehicle can knock the child down. The child can be kidnapped. The child is a denier of the child's education, because the time is supposed to go to school, the time is the particular child. Some children will hawk early in the morning before going to school. Some children will hawk late into the evening. They can be knocked down. So then it's a denial of their fundamental human rights, which is the right to education. So when they are hawking, what are the dangers there? You have to reflect. What are the causes of hawking? It's as a result of poverty. Maybe the parents are not really rich. They are not really comfortable. So they are using the children to augment for income, which is child labor. Every child has right under the law. That's child labor. So which will open the particular child to different dangers on the streets. So you reflect on how very dangerous hawking could be. So then what are the solutions to this? Maybe for every child or school going age, there should be assistance from the government to the children, so that they will be able to access their immediate needs. Some of these children that are hawking, they are hawking maybe to pay for school fees, they are hawking to buy textbook, They are working to feed themselves. They are working to clothe themselves. So all these fundamental things can be made accessible. If it is made accessible, there will not be need for hawking. Maybe hawking children of school going age, parents should be orientated on the need to ensure that they provide safety for their children. They should be enlightened. Many of these parents don't know they are stark illiterate. Some of them don't know the repercussion of what they are doing. Then maybe there is no sustainable business growth. There is no sustainable environment to make sure that the businesses of their parents thrive. So there should be more comfortable society. There should be more sustainable. There should be creation of the government should create an enabling environment for the citizens to have thriving businesses. If their businesses thrive, they will not make their children hawk on the streets. So then you give your suggestions. These are the suggestions that you have given, and you believe that if all your suggestions are put into consideration, hawking will be drastically reduced. Or maybe there should even be punishment for parents under the law. There should be punishment for parents who allow their children to hawk, most especially when they are supposed to be in the school or late in the night. Any child caught, there should be punishment for the parents, because these children are less than 18 in age, so they don't have the knowledge of the law. They don't even know their right under the law, so their right is being infringed upon and trampled upon by the parents. So you explain and you give solutions of what parents should do, what government should do to curtail the problem of hawking on a typical Nigerian road. So then, having written that, it's expected of you to write your address, your name first, then your address. These are the features of article writing which should not be overlooked. So having done that, this is November 2023. Write an article for publication in the local newspaper on 3 major problems which young people face today. The problems faced by young people in my society. That will be a title for a particular article. So you reflect on the general problem being faced. Number 1 problem is unemployment. You reflect, what are the causes of unemployment? Another problem young people face is lack of aid for startup, lack of aid for businesses or whatever, for gainful employment is another problem they are facing. You reflect. Another problem they are facing is moral decline. What are the causes? Inordinate ambition for wealth and many other things are the causative factors for moral decline among young children, making them to engage in. Thank you very much. That's another person joining us. So it makes them to engage in several things that are illicit. Ms. Temitope Otenaike, thank you very much for watching. So they face a lot of issues. The problems children of school going age are facing. The problems the young people are facing in Nigeria. Many of them will graduate after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. There is no job. It's a problem. These are problems. You discuss them, that they are facing this problem. And then whenever you discuss any problem in any essay, it is important for you to discuss the solution. What will the government do? What will the person in question do? What will the society do as a whole? By the time you reflect on all these things, you would have been able to write quality essays, balanced essay, raising problem, talking about the solution, discussing the consequences, the effects, the solutions of issues. We make you to write a robust essay. We will not make your essay to be wishy-washy. Then you use simple and correct sentences, not big vocabularies. Even if you are going to use vocabulary, it should be used in a controlled way, not in a loose way. So then you give your suggestions, and if your suggestions are put into consideration, the society will be better for it. Write an article suitable for publication in a national newspaper on frequent power interruption in your town and attendant hardship experienced by your people. Power interruption in your town. It's not talking about Nigeria. So you must understand the scope of question. Then you let us know in the beginning the state of things, the reflection of the hardship on people. Power interruption. When you talk about power interruption, what does it mean? What is the name of the company that is responsible for power supply in Nigeria? In what ways have they not been able to meet up with standard? What are the causes? Is it as a result of their negligence in the carrying out of their duty? Is it as a result of not having the support from the government or from the people? You reflect. As a result of power interruption, what are the problems people are facing? Most especially even in the domestic environment, people are not able to use the electricity to cook. It will definitely lead to higher cost of living. They fill gas now at very exorbitant rates, which could have been cheaper if they used the electricity. They are not able to watch television in their leisure period. They are not able to ice their food. Even in the domestic environment, there is problem. They are not able to watch football in their leisure period. They are not able to do this in their leisure period, do that in their leisure period at the domestic level, in your town. Then at the commercial level and the industrial level, artisans, different people who are doing one thing or the other. Thank you very much, Mrs. Ayodele, for watching us. Thank you very much. So they are not able to do one or two things with electricity. The weathers, the publishers, the pharmaceutical companies, different companies that are producing one or two things, co-room owners and many other things, many of their commodities waste. Farmers are not able to preserve their produce, making them to run at loss in your community. So then these are the problems. What can be the solution? The company in charge should be more alive to their responsibility. The government should come to the aid of different communities by providing a transformer in different areas, most especially at the local level. It should be the assignment of the local government to provide transformer in communities, so that the community can have better access to electricity. Then the company in charge should be more alive to their responsibility. In cases where poles are removed and there is a damage of electric poles and many other things like that, they should be more alive to their responsibility by coming to the aid of the community to repair as urgently as needed. So if all these steps are taken into consideration, the electricity in your community will be better. And if there is better electricity in your community, there will be provision of job. There will be provision of job, because people will be able to run their private businesses in a convenient way. And when there is provision of job, there will be low crime rates. The examiner only wants you to think logically and creatively. You cannot think logically and creatively without reading wide. The reading culture needs to be brought back to school. The reading culture. Reading of novels, reading of plays. I'm a product of the classroom, and so I'm not comfortable with a number of things in the classroom today. That's why I'm coming out with this type of intervention. Even when you talk about the junior classes, tell them to write essays of 250 words. They will not be able to write more than 50 words. They lack the requisite skill to think. So there is a problem. There is a problem in the society. There is a problem, and we have to track that problem. Until we are able to solve that problem, we will not have a qualitative and superlative education. So we wish children of school-going age success in their examination, and we thank our audience that have stayed put with us through the program. Thank you very much. God bless you for encouraging us. We come online even after the whatever examination. I will create enough time to discuss as many essays as possible to help school-going children, so that we begin to have children who are writing better essays, because we can't do without writing essays, whether we like it or not. When they are old, when they are in strategic places in the society in the future, they will have to write essays. They will have to write speeches as governors, as president, as chairman of local government, as head of companies. We cannot just afford to keep producing children that are not vast. When they get to the university, they will write long essay, they will write thesis. So the thinking skill must be in place in their cerebral cortex. It must be in place, so that we cannot gloss over it. So that's why efforts like these are very important to consolidate very wonderful works that teachers are doing within the four walls of the classroom. So thank you very much, and God bless you. God be with you till we meet again. Bye.